Welcome to the Makeup Gourmet. Hello and welcome to the Makeup Gourmet. I'm your host, Chris Scott, and this is the show where I teach you how to cook a look. Now, today's recipe is Better Know Your Brushes. Now, this is the episode I have been looking forward to for a long time. Why? Because I love makeup brushes. Without these, I couldn't do what I do. And so what I want to do is share with you each of my brushes, how to use them, because once you start using that brush, I guarantee you, every single time you do your makeup, you're going to feel so much better about it. So, helping me out today is Kelly Ferrante. Thank you very much for coming in here. And also with us today is Anita Stewart.
Hi.
Hi, Anita. A little history on Anita. She and I have been doing cosmetic work for over 20 years, and I saw her rocket off into stardom. She ended up being like a buyer, a merchandise manager, so she knows everything about makeup. So she's here to really fill in the gaps that I'm going to leave out. So thank you for being here very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course.
So excited.
All right. So without further ado, let's get to better know your brushes. Now, what I'm going to start off with is a concealer brush. This is what I want you to use when you first start doing your makeup. Now, what I call little areas on the face that are red before you do makeup are distractions. So with Kelly today, I'm slightly distracted by a couple of little moments on her cheek. So I'm going to use a synthetic.
Beautiful skin.
She has, of course, I'm sorry, beautiful skin,
Yes.
However, I'm distracted. So I'm going to take just a little touch of my concealer and I'm just going to set it right in those areas that I want to get a little extra coverage so it doesn't pop through later on when I'm doing the rest of her makeup. Very easy, very, very quick. Now the next brush I'm going to share with you is foundation brush. Anita, how do you feel about the foundation brush?
I love it.
Really?
Yeah.
How much?
Well, that changed my life. My makeup can wear through 8-10 hours of going in the morning, running out of the house, putting the kid down, going to the meeting, and I have a flawless finish with the foundation brush, and I became addicted to it. So now I carry the foundation brush with me if I have to do any touch-ups into the evening.
I have to make a travel set then for you.
Yes.
But anyway,
Minis.
this is also a synthetic brush. And the reason why I point that out is when you're using anything that's liquidy, creamy, try to use a synthetic brush, okay? And when you're using powder, I want you to use more of a natural hair brush. Now, look what I'm doing. I take the smallest amount of makeup on the tip of the brush, and then I generally blend it. I always start from the center of the face and work outward. One of the tips that I have for you is don't try to cover your entire face in foundation. Really what you want to do is you want to even out the center of the face so that when you do your eyes and lips, you're not distracted by any discoloration.
I like the foundation brush to finish off, and it lays everything down. So if you have any fine hair on your face, the foundation brush sort of lays it down.
Smooths it
gives
down.
it a beautiful finish. The lasting power is incredible.
And it feels so much better than your fingertips or a sponge.
Yeah, does that feel good?
It feels great.
And I'm also a fingertip user. I mean, I do like to sometimes apply, but the finish with the foundation brush, I swear.
Well, I like that idea of the fact that it feels better, because remember, putting on your makeup should be a sensual experience. You should really enjoy the moments of putting on your makeup. And with the brushes feel good, that's a good indication that you're probably going to use it. So when you're shopping for brushes, give it the feel test. You know, don't let someone say, this is the best brush, you have to buy it. Give it the feel test, because as you can see, they feel lovely. All right, next, we're going to go up to eyes first. Now, sometimes I do lips first, sometimes I do eyes, but today I'm going to do the eyes first. So I'm going to start with a little bit of a brow powder, and I'm going to work through Kelly's brow here, and I'm going to use a slightly deeper tone than her natural color, just because I want to show off her brow a little bit. But my rule is, unless you're a blonde, I want your brow color to match your hair color exactly. Otherwise, with a blonde, you can go slightly darker only because that's how blondes appear in nature. So you notice I'm taking this slightly angled brush and I'm just working that powder gently through the brow.
This is my favorite tool.
This one.
By far, the brow for me is the accessory that I don't leave my house without ever. And I swear by that brush. That is my favorite eyebrow brush.
You can also use it as an eyeliner brush.
and it's multi-purpose. Yeah, because the little angle on it's great. Close your eye for me. So when you're working around the eye area, it also fits really snug. It's ergonomic. And it's what?
Firm.
And it's firm.
It's firm. You know, you can definitely get a perfect application with that.
So this is like a little eyebrow groomer. Well, all it is, it's like a big fluffy mascara wand. But what that does is that just distributes the product that you just put on, nice and general and even. Now,
Chris, why did you bend that?
Well, ergonomic. I do a lot of makeup, so by bending this, I find that holding it up next to the eye, it's easier for me to handle. Also, on yourself, you're going to find it's going to be easier to handle. I do that with a couple of my brushes. I'm going to go back to the concealer brush real quick because we want to prepare Kelly's eyes for the eyeshadow. Closed, please. So this is a simple eyeshadow base. It tends to be creamy and they dry down to more of a powdery finish. So I'm just going to blend this real soft across Kelly's lids, and you can see how that just cleans up the eyes. I often suggest that even if you're not going to be wearing eyeshadow that day, just using a little concealer or your foundation or eyeshadow base over the eye really gives you a nice clean look. And you may have felt like your eyes were tired before, but after you do this, your eyes are going to feel nice and open. Open for us, please. Boom, pop. Her eyes just wake up the second you do that.
I love it. It looks great.
I love it too. All right, so we're going to move into shadow, and I'm going to do the 1, 2, 3 method of applying eyeshadow for the eye. So here's what I want to share with you. I'm going to work with light, medium, dark. I'm going to start with the light shade first, and what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to use the biggest brush in the collection for eyes. I call it like, it's a large eyeshadow brush. Very inventive name, I know. Large eyeshadow brush, but what I like about this is it covers the whole eye. If you're going to be doing like a nice, smooth application all over the lid to prep it for the rest of the shadow, one of those small brushes is kind of a little bit too much work. So I just want you to...
And that brush feels great.
How's that feel, Kelly?
Feels fantastic.
Feels fantastic. Yeah. If it feels good, you'll probably do it, right? So work it across the eye. Now you notice every time I use the product, I grab it here and I give it a flick and you see a little puff go off. If you can master that technique, great. Give it a tap, whatever, but try to get that little bit of excess off your brush before you bring it to the eye.
Otherwise it ends up on the cheekbone.
Yes, it does. Okay, now the second color I'm going to use on Kelly's eye, this is pretty. I like a little bit of luminosity on the lid. So I'm going to use the same brush, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pat it gently on the lid, and oh, you know what? This brush feels too big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a regular eyeshadow brush. And this one is just the right size that when I tap it on her lid, I'm not getting shadow where I don't want it. Blend, blend, blend.
I think it's also important to mention to the amount of pressure. You're using a very light hand.
Yes. Well, a soft touch is everything. You know, on yourself you can work quicker, but I know a lot of people who are very sensitive, you know, and so you have to...
Contact wearers. And
you can make your eyes red. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop here for now, and we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to finish up Kelly's eyes, and we'll show you how to take care of your brushes after we finish the makeup. So we'll see you in a moment.
Makeup Gourmet provides you with up-to-date application and product information for your daily makeup needs. Each episode is dedicated to a specific lifestyle makeup, as well as broadening the viewer's expertise in how to select and purchase product for themselves. Makeup Gourmet welcomes your comments, suggestions, and questions. Please visit makeupgourmet.com for the latest Makeup Gourmet news, including past, current, and upcoming episodes, application reviews, and a simple one-step process to order your personal beauty products.